Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. Darling, and today I want to speak on what I believe is the nature of demons. Demons are defined as evil entities or spirits that possess people or do evil deeds through people, almost like puppeteering a person. Demons also have been defined as fierce performers or skillful artisans, all the masterful manipulators. There's a lot of high titles given to the title of demon, either through slang or through official definitions. But I'm not here to talk about the religious aspect of demons. I want to talk about the real nature of demons and what I've seen and observed in people and in myself, and how I believe that you can fight demons and hold demons at bay. And as such, demons come in so many different forms. A lot of times for us people, they come in forms of vices. Vices being the things that we are addicted to. It could be the things that gather our time, our health, or our sanity, like drugs, sex, alcohol, shit, even video games. Some of these things can be such a demonic force over our life that we neglect everything else that surrounds that. I've spoken ad nauseum before about my addiction in the past to destiny that sullied the relationship with my family. I was so addicted to that game that it was all I cared about. It was the only thing that occupied my mind. I didn't care about making an extra dollar. I cared about getting my light level up, getting a Gallahorn, and getting the best weaponry in the game so I can go on raid after raid with my friends. And captured my mind so much that I didn't care about really nothing else. That's all I did. I see people have the same type of addiction to social media. People will get on TikTok, people will get on these lives, and they'll stay on there from sun up to sundown. They'll neglect their kids, they'll neglect their family, their wives, their spouses, their husbands, because they're addicted to the attention that they get from the audience that is hanging on to almost every word that they say. And a lot of times people could be addicted to the drama, and they'll cause more and more chaos in their online lives and in their real life in order to create cliques and this atmosphere of people who are also vexed by the same demon of gossip, the same demon of drama, and they play off of each other, right? Demons can come in many forms. Here, live from Sin City, I'm in Vegas, as I make this video, people are addicted to all types of stuff. The type of vices people are addicted to in the city have people on the street, have people begging for change on a daily basis, from the gambling, from the sex to the drugs. There's all types of demons. And I know y'all can say that these are outside forces, but they vex people because of the addictions that live inside. I remember my first time becoming addicted to sex. This is after I got with my kid's mother, and the amount of pornography that was coming out at the time in a digital format was crazy to me, okay? And there was an actress named Alexis Breeze that I had an irrational of freaking traction to. Anything that she did would just make me have to excuse myself. If I just saw her, if I just thought about her, I would have to excuse myself in order to get a nut off, in order to continue with my day. A demon that vexed me, a sex demon. And I see it with a lot of people now. I see it over myself, even with something like Instagram. There's times I get on Instagram, I hop on my feet, or I'll go through a few reels, get so goddamn turned on by the salacious material I see on there, I have to go and I have to beat me. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you what it is. And y'all can say, oh, these are demonic entities that you have to fight. You do, but they're always on you. For the people that have been addicted to drugs and cocaine, the first time I ever seen the demon in a man's eyes was in my mom's boyfriend, who was addicted to all types of bullshit. And this man had got high on his rock and was in there busting the dishes out in the kitchen. But you just hear him. So my mom was like, go in there and see what he's doing. Right? I'm like, I don't want to go in there and see what that man is doing, but I go in there, go into the kitchen, and the man was in there just busting dishes. When I said, what are you doing? He just looked at me, and the red that was in his eyes, it was just enough for me to be like, that's the devil right there. Not him himself, but whatever was behind his eyes, or the lack of spirit that was behind his eyes, was the first time I had ever seen a demon in a man. It was the first time I ever knew that there may come a time in this life where I may be forced to take on something like that, and I will have no choice but to take it out of this earth. Even though that is a man who was vexed by an entity, an evil spirit, the spirit of cocaine, the spirit of rage, these things, right? It makes it no different, especially as a child who's seeing that. And as people become more and more destitute, right? There's the demon of poverty. Poverty is a demon. I'm sorry, because poverty causes you seek out these comforts and these vices in order to satiate yourself so you can feel better about the life or the fucked up life that you're living. Just the other day on the bus, I get on the bus, there's a guy wearing a mask, okay? The guy gets on the bus, he didn't pay his fare completely. So the bus driver tells him to get off of the bus. He refuses to get off the bus. He just completely just sits at the back of the bus. He's angry. He's pissed. He has all this stuff with him. I can tell he's young. He has a lot on him. He's wearing a goddamn demon mask, okay? And of course, I'm irritated because I want to get to work. The people on the bus want to get to work. And I tell him, bro, just just freaking get off the bus so everybody can go. Yeah. Come on, bro. No, she's not gonna drive though. Just all you have to, you can be considerate of all the people on the bus and get the fuck off the bus, bro. She's not gonna drive without you leaving. I'm not your brother. All you gotta do is ride the bus, bro. We're not related. I'm shooting you. Trying to get my daughter to school. All right. It's that shit. So he goes through all of that, and I just like, all right, whatever. All right, I can see what's on him. I always leave for work over an hour early anyway, so I can get there and just in case stuff like that jump off. And he's pissed everybody else off on the bus. The bus driver's waiting on the security to come. Security ain't coming. People got to get to work. People got to get to school. But this man, because of the demons that are vexing him, he don't give a fuck about nothing but him and his time and everything else. Right. And I had already done cussed him out. He had done cussed me out. I'm like, whatever, I'm over it. I just get on my phone, start to entertain myself so that my personal demons don't start nipping at me. At some point, another man starts talking to him and they start going back and forth at it because now dude's like, come on, bro, blah, blah. And the guy that he starts going back and forth with it at that point asks him, do you want to smoke? Right. Because the dude probably has to, like I say, the spirit of the demon of addiction on him. And he says, yeah, So he finally gets his stuff after about 20-25 minutes of freaking holding the bus up and gets off with the stranger to go smoke whatever they went out there to smoke. Come on. You know I'm always saying that word. I'm not a grip. Yeah. Clean your pussy, lady. Cussing out the bus driver. The bus driver could have had compassion for the guy. I can say that because we were at the mission. And people coming out of the mission a lot of times are in a terrible economic situation. And you know that as if you live in the city, you know where you are. And she could have let him on a bus. I've seen bus drivers let dozens of people on a bus. However, she was doing her job. And just because you have something over you doesn't give you the right to hold everybody else up. It's messed up. And this is what I mean. The demons that vex people. Okay? The demon of poverty. The demon of poverty leads to people robbing people. The demon of poverty leads to people seeking drugs for comfort. The demon of poverty leads to envy and all these other cardinal sins. I know we're going into religion a little bit in order to get people to do these horrible fucking things to where they can just feel like they're on the level with everybody else. Even when it just comes to a fucking place to stay. So many people are living out on the street. And obviously it's getting warm now, so it kind of feels good out here at night and everything. But we just coming out of the cold months. So many people stand out there in the cold under their blankets and all of that. That shit is not fun. That shit, not having a place to go, fucks with you. You understand what I'm saying? And the demons do get at you at that point. They start telling you that the people don't care about you and all this other crazy stuff. Your family don't care about you. Your friends don't care about you. Society don't care about you. Fuck these people. Fuck everything. Those are demons. That's rage. That's contempt for everything. And it's easy to put blame on everybody else when the demons are nipping at you, because that's the first thing the demon's going to entice you to do, is to put blame on everything else. Because the moment you say that I have control or I have some type of autonomy over myself, the demons get weaker and weaker and weaker. Because remember, they're there to puppeteer you. They're there to control you. That is their nature. That is the nature of demons. And demons manifest in our minds, in our souls. They are a part of us. The nature of demons is also the nature of people, and that people have these unsatiable appetites for all types of things, be it for money, be it for fame, be it for beauty, be it for youth, be it for food, right? Be it for whatever you clout, whatever you throw out there. And demons look at that, and that's how they entice people to go down the path of woe and follow them wherever they choose to take them. It is a dangerous game. And trust me, here living in this city, all around this city, there's symbolism that, pushes whatever type of spiritual vortex over the city. That's why they call it the city of sin. It's easy to come here and get caught up in the glitz and the glamour. It's easy to get caught up anywhere. Don't just let a place like Vegas, where it's like right there out in the open, fool you, when there's places where it's not on the surface, but it's around every corner and it's behind every closed door. Demonic entities live all over the place. And one of the places that I see them the most, in my opinion, is when I see these prosperity preachers, the people that disgust me the most on this earth, get up there and they try to shame their congregation into tithing and giving them all this fucking money so they can continue on with this grift because God supposedly needs their money in order to continue. It's ridiculous shit. And this is the world that we live in. But you'll see pastor after pastor going into this pulpit, and people, because they know that they have their own demons, and if they're rotten to their core, and if they really have not really repented for any of their sins or any of the way they actually treat people in the world, they feel that they can just go to church and just pay their way into heaven. So it's easy for the pastors to manipulate those people and say, hey, as long as you're giving out $100 every week, or as long as you're giving out this, you're going to get into heaven, as opposed to changing who you are on the inside and fighting those fucking inner demons so that you learn how to treat the world, the people in your world, better, and make the world a better place so that it ain't full of all these demonic influences and entities. Some of the worst people and some of the most demonic people are sitting right there in that goddamn church and sitting right there behind that fucking, behind that pulpit, just talking about the word of God, not knowing a word of it or anything like that. And I'm not even a religious person, but I've seen them manipulate people. I've seen them, play into people's fears of going to hell and burning into some dumbass infinite goddamn fire. It's ridiculous, but people believe that, and people, they play into that. And instead of those people improving themselves while they're here, because a lot of these old motherfucking boomer bitches and men that go into these fucking churches are fucked up to their grandkids, they fucked up to their kids. Some of these people, they molested people, some of these people did all kind of shit. And instead of dealing with the evil that's in them, they'd rather go and just pay some fucking pastor to get to pay their way into the fucking pearly gates. It disgusts me in every level. I love that Drewski did that skit, but the nature of demons is the nature of greed, is the nature of lust, is the nature of envy, is the nature of wrath. And that's something that I be feeling. That's something that I was like, just like with the guy on the bus. Like I say, I have to put certain things away and be more patient with the world, because I have my own demons that vex me. And the thoughts that vex me in my head are sometimes so dark and so fucked up that they scare me as a fucking person. And in order to tuck those things away, especially when it comes to something like horrific violence or something like me losing my patience or me losing my freedom, no, I have to pray on that. And that's where the remedy comes from, at least for me, is to give my autonomy, not just to myself, but to a higher authority above whatever demons may be on me at that moment in time or in the future, you know what I'm saying? Or some demons that are still on me that I may not recognize, that are manifested from fears and insecurities that live in my heart. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, and just because you don't believe in demons and just because you don't believe in gods, don't mean that the elite don't. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that, and just give you something to think about. There's a good portion of my life where I was completely atheist. I didn't believe in a higher authority, and I believed in just my own personal autonomy, which for a good portion of my life I do. But when you need spiritual protection, you can't do it on your own. Sometimes you need a higher power to get you through that field of freaking demons who are nipping at you, especially when you're trying to get something good out of life, or you're trying to do something good in life. And when you start doing good or you start seeing good, that's when those demons come and they try to cut you off at the knees. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch y'all next time. Bye-bye.